As soon as that Reaper's out, we'll have something to really watch, of course. SCV coming out here as well. Kind of a little bit of a later scout, but at least he'll see whether or not the Zergling's coming across, right? So he knows whether or not the Reaper has to stay home. He's going to see that hatchery right there. And then be able to draw his conclusions. It's like, alright, well, there we go. And off he goes. Over he goes. Happy and satisfied Reaper. Go across the map. You're free to go. Free to roam. Figure out what in the world is happening in that blue base. Are we seeing actually 6 Zerglings here? Oh no, okay, it is 4, it is 4. I just got confused. I thought I saw some moving out, but that was still the drone for the 3rd base, of course. So it is just the 4 links. They're doing an okay job. Kind of getting hurt. The queen is about to be ready, though. Losing 2 Zerglings here, that is actually a little bit of a bother. Will make it more difficult for him to keep his creep tumors alive. And talking about creep tumors, there you go, immediately. First one gets sniped out, and oh, that's a nice, comfortable start for Cure. You gotta feel pretty happy every time that works out, right? May not seem like a lot, but those creep tumors, they definitely need each other to just keep producing, otherwise you're gonna fall behind quite badly. It's exponential growth. Every active creep tumor can multiply after all, after a little while. I guess it doesn't become 2 active creep tumors though then, to be fair. Cure another attempt, but this time around 2 queens will be able to keep that Reaper at bay. Maybe with the 2 Hellions though together. Something can still be accomplished here. I don't think he will attempt anything, honestly. The 3 queens should be more than plenty. Unless if he manages to bounce them a little bit off of the creep. Slight rotation. Don't know how on purpose this is from Cure, but I like the fact that he has that Reaper always at the front. The one tanking the damage. It's the one that can heal, of course, as well. Regenerate that health back. Be okay with the whole ordeal. Little overlords coming into the main base of Cure here. There is a Banshee with Cloak on the way, and that is being spotted right now. The Hellions attempting to get something going here on the other side of the map. Yep, all my hotkeys are wrong now. Very peculiar. Oh. I'll have to figure it out at some point. Okay, Banshee comes into the main base. Only 2 kills. It's not a lot for a Cure Banshee, honestly. I always admire Cure's Banshee control, but that really wasn't the Banshee control that we're used to seeing, seeing from Cure. I mean, it's still alive, it's still going, it's still kicking, right? It has the potential to do more, but yeah, the 2 drones in to start things off with, and already half HP. Bit of a bummer there for Cure, I would imagine. To be fair, he only made this single Banshee, right? He never invested any more into it. He cancelled the cloak, so it's alright. It's alright. Just utilizing it now for a little bit of creep denial, and it's working out fine in that remark, right? So I'd say if you're able to get that creep denial going for a lot longer on like 2 sides now because of this, might still make it okay. Forced out some more queens, maybe a spore crawler here or there. I know those spore crawlers most likely going to be made anyway, right? Okay, nice push here from Cure. They've come across with quite a couple of these Marines now and the Hellions. There's no armory for the Hellbats, but then again, there's no Banelings. to deal with the Marines nor the Hellions. Marines now into the main base. We'll be able to stim forth and try to grab a couple of those Zerglings that are initially here. As the Hellions trying to help out as well, as the Marines are getting nibbled onto the high ground. With the Queen's arrival, it seems like that's all the Cure will be able to do here for now. And yeah, that push for a moment, it looked kind of scary, but I mean, with the Hellions on the low ground, they weren't really able to do much against those Zerglings, and the Zerglings just could back up, and no fight was really forced there by Cure. I honestly do think he had a moment. He didn't want to commit onto the creep, it seems, or at least not without there being a nice way to walk up to a ramp area and make stuff more difficult, right? So abuse the fact that he has units on the low ground as well. But anyway, what it felt like to me was that he just didn't want to commit into the creep. Didn't know what was there waiting for him, of course. But with just a bunch of Zerglings there, maybe it could have worked out with the amount of Hellions that he had. Anyway, regardless, it seems like not much momentum was lost here for Cure. Another push is just occurring on the left side of the field, and it is spread out like the measles. He is going pretty darn rough here. Those Banelings, they're going to try to find some good connections, but ooh, the top side needs to be careful. The Banelings decide to go the entire opposite direction all of a sudden. So a big clump of Marines is still alive now on the top side, and they will be able to deal with these Mutalisks. Ragnarok, a major blunder there, I would say. And GG is called. That engagement not going in his favor at all one bit. So far, pretty much everything going the same way as last time, but we do see 6 Zerglings this time coming out for Ragnarok. We'll not have 2 Zerglings die this time, hopefully for him. I like to walk away, make sure to get as much creep there as possible. Well, he does have the 4 links, so it's a little bit easier for him to micro here. Has more units to work with, right? And that makes it just easier overall. We'll be able to get that creep tumor down this time around. There's no way you're going to jump on that as the Reaper. I think, yeah, this concussive nade, yeah, needed that one as well. To really bust down that creep tumor. Well, does have his command center on the low ground. A starport's coming up with a tech lab. Looks like we have the exact same build here coming out of Cure. So it's going to be up to Ragnarok to kind of try to, well, figure this out and see what he can do about it. Oh, that Reaper incredibly low, trying to one last time get on the edge of that creep. Doesn't quite manage to do anything there, unfortunately for him. Alright. Yeah, there we go. There's going to be the same opening here for Cure. If it doesn't get scouted, which it might not, because there's no Overlord this time around, just chilling behind the base, ready to fly in. So this could come as a bit more of a surprise this time around. I wonder if that's going to mean we're going to see more Banshees being produced. It's not like a weird thing to see Cure really go for like 2-3 Banshees. 4, I don't know, I've seen him really do 4 all that often, but he's okay with getting a couple more rather than just the 1. Sometimes you do see an armory added in with this as well, right? Then you have the Banshee and Hellion firepower, kind of in a way. Well, the Banshee and Hellbat firepower then, of course. Oh, Overlord. Just managed to get access here. We'll be able to get the scout as well, and that's a nice little thing there for Ragnarok. Again, Cure here, gonna have to make the choice. Does he keep that cloak? Does he cancel? Looks like he's gonna let it complete. I mean, it's so close right now anyway. There's already a Banshee close by also, and that second Banshee right here coming in pretty soon. Alright, there we go. The Spore Crawler just barely not done yet, but it's gonna finish up in any second now. There we go. Bit of a rough spot. I really like these benchy positions here in the middle of these two bases. Makes it, you know, impossible for those drones to just kind of casually transfer. It's outside of any vision range here. You need to get yourself an overseer. Really, or I guess you could move those spore crawlers, right? But that's quite an annoying thing to have to do. I guess you could move this one. Yeah, okay, he's gonna go to, there we are. Lovely. Fixing the situation. Quite a couple of drones here going down. 5 of them in total so far. Not a single unit of CURE just quite yet. Being scuffled into the ground. Getting a couple of creep tumors could be good for the later on push that is bound to be showing up here. We never got an armory, did we? No. Okay, I'm wondering if that is still something we're going to get in this situation here. Just like in the previous one, he kind of brought those Hellions still along with the push and then made them into Hellbeds. Looks like right now we have a bit of a different focus on this push for CURE. But still looks absolutely terrifying. 55 army supply strong. Marching across the map right now. Not that much left at home. Pretty much everything he's got is coming in a big fist now. Across the map. Alright, good spread from those Banelings and Zerglings. Let's see if the... Ooh, trying to do a big surround here. Ready to intercept any type of reinforcements and deny the retreating path of those Marines. The Marines are just going to stim up here towards the 4th base. Quite a brave move. I mean, they do have the 2 medevacs, but the 2 medevacs might not be enough. The Banelings coming in one at a time. Perfect target fire from CURE. Takes out the base and we'll be able to leave with most of those units now. Sacrificing a couple of those Marines, but that is perfectly fine with the way he traded right there. Very well done. Ragnarok now had enough of this little enclave. We'll be able to clean it up. The medevac's a little bit careless, trying to just put down all the Marines right there. Almost literally putting them down because of the Banelings and the Marines that were, well, just running in at the same time. +2/+2 for both these players is coming up. Overall, the game is looking quite a bit favorable here for CURE, I would say, considering that last push. Zerglings trying to get a good surround here. One Baneling gets a good connection, but I mean, Ragnarok's army, it's just not there. It's just 50 army supply strong. He is scrambling to try and get something going for himself. Gonna try here once again. The Zerglings arriving a little bit early perhaps, but alright, does push these Marines backwards. Wants to keep that creep going. He's going Lingbane Hydra. He needs to have creep. There's no way you win this game without having actual creep spread. And that's what we're seeing being one of the main focuses here for Ragnarok. But again, losing a big out clump of creep here. A reasonable Baneling connection onto quite a couple of Marines. Wondering what that makes the unit trade window. Still in favor for CURE. Quite heavily now. The 4th base for Ragnarok is about to be ready. It's a little bit of pressure, but I believe actually, Ragnarok might be okay. The attack on the left side has me a slight bit worried for the time being, but there are Banelings coming in. It looks like the Hydras on their own already enough to make CURE reconsider his options there. The right side flank looking for more creep tumors perhaps. Waiting for them to spread. Ooh, Ragnarok might be able to get something here. No. CURE was watching already. Target firing Banelings once again. Even in a reaction moment like that, I mean, jeez Louise, how do you even do that type of stuff? Unless if he's already just kind of watching. I mean, I struggle to react in time that my Marines are still alive, but this man, he reacts in time, and then he targets down a couple of banelings. And then he puts them into the medevacs, because he just has enough time to do everything. Alright, Ragnarok here in a little bit of trouble. Once again, one of his expos is in disarray. Nice flank from the top side, actually getting reasonable connections here. Banelings trying to find the last couple of Marines. The entirety of the army does get cleaned up. There is another one coming in. But I think Ragnarok might be in a good position here to just clean that up as well. And there you go, actually. That is wonderful stuff here for Ragnarok. It's going to be able to kind of equal out that trade. The unit loss tab here. Another attack from CURE on the right side was trying to make something work as well, but it looks like Ragnarok did nip that in the behind before that actually took into effect. We got ourselves quite a, well, scary force of Zerg here, taking out the Liberators, taking out a siege tank now. Actually, that siege tank was saved in the nick of time. Just barely there. CURE gonna be able to pick that one up. Again, more harassment for CURE is being stopped on the right flank. It looks like Ragnarok is doing a really good job just kind of maintaining whatever aggression CURE is trying to throw at him. Siege tank in the top side and near the third base, not in siege mode. Might be a problem here. But it looks like the bigger problem is that the Hydrus and the Zerglings Baneling army not really moving around all that nimbly without the creep there. To help everything kind of move in as one cohesive front. Making it a lot harder for this type of Zerg army to take the victory there. But then again, this Zerg army's never really, well, not entirely made to like win games just like this, right? With this army composition, you want to try to get yourself into that lurker games play style, and that is where I feel like you're going to get your most luck and favor. Ooh, this is a lot of Hydras, but Marines do a lot of damage. +3/+3 is about to finish up here for those bio units as well. Might make it a lot more difficult for Ragnarok to still hold on. And he needs to have Banelings. You can't fight this without Banelings. There they are, coming in now, but already this entire stretch of land here, without creep, leads directly onto this fourth base of Ragnarok here. And he's losing more and more creep, making it more and more difficult for this army composition to get the engagements that he needs. Oh, Banelings onto the Marauders. That is horrible. Trust me, he cannot afford to have Banelings go onto Marauders right now. When he just leaves Marauders like that in the front, I know you want to clean them up, right? There's no reason not to, but you could just let your Hydras do it. Let the Banelings roll backwards. Takes a little bit longer, but at least then you have the Baneling firepower to really just burst through the Marine numbers. And right now, we're seeing a little bit of a struggle. And, well, it might start to crumble down again here for Ragnarok. He's starting to lose his workers. Army supply is not looking all that great, and GG is called. CURE wins game number 2 as well. In the bottom right side, we have our Alpha X player. He is the blue Zerg, Ragnarok. Top left side, we have a red Terran player. 2 points so far, the Dragon Phoenix Gamer, CURE. Remember, folks, this will be a series where we will play all of these 7 games, no matter what. So you get paid basically per each win. You get more money the more wins you get. So everyone here will stay motivated to try their best up until the final game here, game number 7. But yeah, it means that we're going to get ourselves into a game number 7 as well. between Cure and Ragnarok. So that is quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Absolutely everything so far still the same. One-on-one the same, I would even say. No differences whatsoever. Also, as Sushi was pointing out earlier on, or at least the Alpha X account, make sure to hit us up with that Matcherino. Matcherino, it's a website. If you go to the website, you fill in a coupon code. It gives money, free money to these players. These players will receive an extra payment if you fill in a bunch of digits on your keyboard, right? And it's not even a bunch, it's just like what? It's usually like six digits. And that's if you don't copy paste. If you copy paste, it really is just the 4 digits of the Control C and the Control V. Oh, losing Zerglings here. These Reapers have been a pain in the rear so far for Ragnarok, I have to say. Even just gonna go for the inject here with his first queen. Realizing he's not likely to get the creep tomb around. You wish free money was so easy to get in other activities as well. I mean, it could be. In his sense, it could be, right? I mean, it's the equivalent to other activities like... as long as you get publicity, right? That's the main thing. As long as you get people interested in what you're doing and they want to see what you're doing. And you can become an influencer. These guys, in a way, they're influencers. They're in the same boat as TikTok people. They're just, you know, they do things. They're good at a certain thing in particular. Rather than just, you know, being cool and making sure they're up to date with the fashion stuff and that type of thing. I suppose that is still stuff as well, right? But not really, you're not really handicrafting something with your hand. I don't know how to explain this. I'm fairly certain a lot of the influencers on the internet probably would have, well, would understand, since that's what that might be one of the reasons why they're doing that type of stuff. Don't have to do that much. In comparison to, well, becoming a professional StarCraft 2 player. I don't know why I'm trying to make this debate here. Why? Alright, well, anyway. The Hellion's kind of rotating around, right? We're gonna get those benches in. Once again, it is the exact same thing once more from Cure. He knows it works, and he is gonna make sure that Ragnarok knows that it works. Little queen there in trouble. Needs to find a way to get this Banshee into submission. He's gonna lose a couple of drones. Might lose the queen as well if he's not careful. He will lose that queen. Yep, and now there's no stealth detection here. Oh my god, don't lose the second queen. Don't you dare. Don't you do it. He's gonna lose the second queen. Oh god. Well. You know when sometimes you play a game of StarCraft 2 versus somebody, right? Like a friend of yours, and you don't play too often against him. You're not quite sure how good he is. And then game number 1 kind of goes in a way like, alright, well, I mean, I kind of messed up. A couple of things didn't quite go my way. But overall, I might be able to get something going here, right? And then game number 2 is a little bit similar. Maybe it felt a little bit more like, alright, maybe that was a bit worse. But you know what, if we do a bit worse now, maybe we're going to be able to do a bit better the next game. And then, the next game runs along. And it is even worse. Oh my god. the pit in your stomach just sinks deeper and deeper as you realize, oh my god, I am being wrecked right now. I mean, it's not too bad. Units lost stab. We'll see. We'll see how this goes, of course. The push once again here. This feels a little bit dangerous overall for Ragnarok. Well, banelings start coming in. A big Zergling counterattack might be able to do quite a bit here. The Marines and the Siege Tank not in the perfect position to get that damage denied. 5 SCVs, not bad. Not bad at all. Greens might be able to actually kind of set up here with a bit of a spread. Overseer providing vision. Circling setting up for the flank on this siege tank area, I suppose. Could be a good thing to take out. At the same time, I'm wondering, is it going to be worth the resources taking out overall? I mean, that siege tank, it's going to have a good line of sight here anyway. Those banelings, if they clump up a bit too much, a couple of well-targeted shots could be a lot of trouble. And now, oh boy, there's reinforcements coming in. Ragnarok trying to come in at the wrong angle at the wrong time. Sees that there's just more stuff here now. Tries to make something work with the counterattack, but CURE entirely prepared. Has a bunker, has more Marines ready from the trenches. Hiding behind those supply depots. And here we go, the 4th base for Ragnarok in a little bit of trouble. A lot of queens available. They're utilizing the transfuse quite well, but the rest of the army of Ragnarok not quite being able to commit just yet. Here we go. Comes in, is quite crushing, but oh my, he got 18 SCVs as well during all of that. Banelings must have been coming in on that side. I hope that doesn't mean he spend too many banelings though on the opposite side of the field. It's a worthy attempt. He was always just kind of running dry on his resources whenever he starts trading like this. So getting a good bit of counter-aggression damage done might be enough for him if he just manages to recover, if he just manages to stabilize here. But it is rough. The Marines are low HP though, as the medevacs are entirely out of energy. Might still be salvageable right here. Okay, he does tap out. So yeah, just so you guys know, it is going to be all 7 games played. If CURE wins this one, it's not going to be over. No sir, it's not going to be over whatsoever. Ragnarok is still going to have to stay within the trenches, stay within the battlefield, and try his best to still get a couple of victories here. "7-4 is not possible." 7-4 is not possible. We will so yeah, I know it says best of 7, but we should really have that just be like 7 matches. Actually, I'm gonna be able to change that actually here. Let me see. 7 matches. Bam. Let's get rid of this then. Boom. Alright, now you see. Now you see this. 7 matches. Not best of 7, it's 7 matches. Should have done that a long time ago, huh? Oh well. I'm not sure if they're talking about that as well either. It is all in Korean after all. 3 kills on this Reaper? Are you kidding me? I look away for one moment to fix some scoreboard stuff, and this is what happens. 3 Reaper kills. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright. What are we getting here? Oh my, it's not going to be the bench he played this time around, or is it? Huh? No, this is going to be for the, this is going to be reactor, Stimpack, a lot of Marines, with a couple of those medevacs, and they're going to provide quite a little bit of pressure. Now, I like this play from CURE. We've seen quite a bit of delay in the Baneling construction from Ragnarok so far. And that could come to bite him here, especially if we have a couple of those Hellions staying with the force as well. We only have 2 Hellions though. Oh, yeah. Okay, he lives. Perfectly fine. Never worried at all. He knew what was going to happen. This Overlord, though, also knows what's going to happen. Has complete vision. We need to see that Baneling nest coming up pretty soon, I believe. Let's hope that we will. There it is. Oh, that's a group 2 minute. There we go. Next to the Evo chamber. Baneling nest coming up. It would be quite a surprise if we don't have Banelings actually ready before this is coming. Oh, well, actually, the medevacs are going to be ready before the Baneling nest is going to be ready. Well, let's hope that works out for Ragnarok here. It's going to be a tight squeeze. May need to hold off the areas here with just Zerglings and Queens for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Hopefully he won't have to trade for too long, because that could, of course, make things very, very scary overall. Queen's coming into the main base. It looks like he did see the medevacs here, thanks to the Overlord. And there they go. Zerglings ready in position. Together with the Queen should be able to be cleaned up here. There we are. Oh, the slow zones punishing CURE here for trying to get that medevac away still. And the entirety with all of its contents goes down. So a lot of Queens right there. He probably did not expect that many Queens and the Queens to be able to shoot that amount of time. Very well done. Circlings here, trying to get a nibble on those Marines. So the Marines are trying to get a little bit of shooting going. Shoot the creep to miss. At some point, I would like to see like a modded version of StarCraft where the Marines are more like stormtroopers and they they just miss everything. They just do nothing. I don't know why that would seem so funny to me. Alright, CURE actually got beaten back here quite a bit. Let's take a look at the resources lost tab. Yeah, that's the best it's ever looked here for Ragnarok. He had the scout and seems like he managed to kind of get himself in an okay position here. The Spire is coming up. The Spire is going to be met with a siege tank player, so that's really good. Right, we only have the siege tanks, 2 Hellions, not a single Widow Mine anywhere. Well, I guess there are a bunch of Marines, but that's why we got the Zerglings and the Banelings, right? And then again, as well, with the Zergling Baneling Mutalisk style, I feel like you kind of just want to go for counterattacks anyway. I'm not sure if you want to really try to get efficient trading going, because usually you're not going to get the most efficient trading anyway. Since your bases are less valuable than the Terran ones, since you just have more of them, it's not a bad idea to just go for the base trades. But looks like we got, well, CURE here already geared up and stationed up, trying to impress the Zerg fortifications here on the top side. Moving back a little bit, trying to just assure that he's going to maintain a no mining zone here from those golden minerals. Quite a couple of missile turrets here being constructed as well. Needs a bit bigger of a Mutalisk Flock. Maybe get a couple of extra upgrades on them there as well. The push continues. More units this time being brought in. Banelings and Zerglings once again. Going to just get spread out here and hopefully have a good enough run into these units right here. 6 queens, they may be okay versus the 2 medevacs, but this might be a little bit too much for them to handle on their own. There we have the fight. The Banelings all clumped up, taking a ton of damage from those siege tanks. And yeah, I feel like all of the Banelings there, like 20 of them, just in one big blob, one big ball, and perfectly targeted down there by Cure. Those siege tanks, they didn't know what to do with that amount of Banelings. It was quite the splash that he made. Let's see if the next wave here is going to do a bit better. Bit of a better spread of the Banelings here. I feel like we have a couple more, and this time around he will make the connections. But that is after kind of the fight where he had to make the connections. So I feel like now, alright, might be able to get those Widow Mines set off. Yikes. Scary moment in time here for Ragnarok. Not quite sure how far he can push this right now. Looks like that is as far as it's going to be. Had to try and jump on that opportunity as much as possible here. Punish his opponent for anything he might be sending out a bit haphazardly. That is then easy pickings for those Zerglings and Banelings and Mutalisk. Just jump on the extra reinforcements and pray. The gold base once again here under a bit of pressure. Ooh, does manage to get drilling claws here at some point, so it's a bit easier for him to get those Widow Mines into the ground. Cleaned up now. 5 workers go down, a single Mutalisk as well, I believe. Oh, there we are. Interesting state of the game right now. Ragnarok starting to really claim the top side of the map. I would like to see him maybe even take the 12 o'clock base here. Why the hell not? Just get more locations to spread creep from. It's kind of my idea. Finding a Thor, that is so... I mean, that's okay. It's alright. That's it. That's okay. It's not bad. I hope he just didn't lose too many of those Mutalisks coming in right now. Banelings from multiple angles. Has to be careful of those Widow Mines. Alright, looks like another cleanup here for Ragnarok. Coming in from multiple angles, and now with 92 army supplies strong. Just needs to make sure that he doesn't lose this slight upstep now. Unnecessarily. Alright, actually Cure the one here that once again is starting to move forwards. Is this going to allow Ragnarok now to grab a big portion of the army here? Yes, it will. Although it looks like Ragnarok maybe a little bit too hesitant to take the fight. He was not expecting to suddenly be in a position where he's actually breaking Cure's main defenses and backing up right there. Now deciding, you know what, that is actually nothing you have. Coming in here, taking out the 4th base of Cure. All the minerals there kind of exposed due to heavy ling pressure. And that's a wonderful place to be here now for Ragnarok. Cure will be able to stabilize overall on the 3 base, but that's a big blow after all. 21 workers going down. Attempted counter-aggression from Cure here. Trying to equal out the score, not be just behind right now, but do some economic damage of his own as well. Not really finding any of it. And here we are. Ragnarok now finally in an absolutely advantageous position. It's hard to put it anywhere else. And then again, he is still playing against Cure, of course. Cure, a monstrosity. Might just need a little bit of luck with the Widow Mines, and then suddenly stuff could just turn upside down immediately, of course. And Cure definitely a player that knows how to make luck come into his favor. When I say luck, that just means it's skill at that point, isn't it? He knows where and when to do whatever he needs to with those Widow Mines. Just Just like that, keeping the Mutalisk at bay. Setting up shop outside of Cure's bases. Cure, right now, I feel like he just wants to... He just kind of wants to turtle. Really, he just doesn't want to die. He wants to get back up to 200 supply. Maybe on a lower SCV count as well. Overall, but this is not right. Those Banelings are getting closer and closer. They're not blowing up onto the Thors. All the Marauders this time. And they do make it in there. The Mutalisk ball is still entirely alive. That's it. GG is called. Ragnarok takes game number 4. Okay. And off we go again. We've seen very similar builds so far from Cure, right? I'm not really expecting anything else, honestly, out of him. What I was anticipating a little bit in this best of 7 is more aggression out of Ragnarok. Ragnarok has been playing a very similar style here. It's almost as if he's just kind of going with the flow. He kind of knows what Cure is doing, and to me, it seems like Ragnarok is just taking this as a very good way for practice, in a sense, almost. Clearly he wants to win, yeah, but, like, he's playing a very standard, just straight up ZVT that is not uncommon. He's not doing anything cheeky. He's not trying to cheese. He's just playing the regular game, trying to get himself into that later game. Oh, and yeah, I mean, so far he managed to get a point there in the previous one. So well done, Mr. Ragnarok. Now, Cure, on the other hand, let's see what type of strategy he will be going for this time around. Oh, only 4 links being made this time. Ah, it's enough. It's enough. Ragnarok holds his own this time. Alright. Little starport on the way. Looks like that is going to get an attack lab as well. Yeah, so... You know what? We try something else here for Cure, and they don't quite work. Back to what we know and love, right? Let's just spend our minerals on Hellions. Spend that gas on Cloak and a Banshee. Maybe even the 2 Banshees, but that's about it. That's about it. And then from there, you transition into the big Marine siege tank pushes coming across the map, and that is the style that Ragnarok is suffering the most from so far. I wonder if you can make like an early Mutalisk style work against this, what Cure is doing. Probably not, because he would most likely see that you're going Mutalisk and then not build Banshee Hellion armies. Probably that would be a mistake there. Or a problem, at least, for the Zerg. Alright. I like the fact that Ragnarok just puts down the creep 2 minutes immediately afterwards as well. Just like, alright. Well, you got rid of it, but I'll get another one. You might be getting rid of that one too, but I'll be here. I'll be ready to make a new one. Ooh, bit of a supply block here for Ragnarok. He lost one of the scouting overlords. Let's see, what did he see? Oh, there we go. Yep.
Our forces are under attack.
Had a good scout going there. Yeesh. Banshee into the main base. So the Hellions are rotating around kind of the third and natural. Still got a bit of scuffs in my throat. Apologies, but The Alliance here not really getting any ground, honestly. The Banshee is poking away, but nothing much being accomplished here by the Terran forces. To be fair, we've seen this push not do all that much a couple of times already. Right, maybe you get a couple of drones here or there, but it never was like an insane amount of impressive damage, right? He just rotates around, he forces out Zerglings, he forces out Queens, he stops you from making drones as many as you want, he stops you from having any creep spread at all, and then the Marine Siege Tank push comes, right? That's the deadly part about it, because you just don't have the creep spread. You couldn't quite get that drone economy going as quickly as you wanted to, because you had to make defenses against this, well, this harassment style. Okay. Both Banshees still alive and well on the other side of the map again. Aliens losing some of their numbers. Bit too eager at the edge of the creep right there. Another Spire play coming out of Ragnarok also. So, hoping that that is going to serve him well. 9 Mutalisks so far. Is that going to be okay as the push is coming in? It is only a single siege tank. 9 Mutalisk. The army supply for CURE here again is a little bit terrifying. I'm just worried we are not going to have enough banelings here. We'll see. Actually, that is quite a couple of them. Alright, siege tank. How is the target fire? Let's see. Okay, in the middle of those banelings. That's about all he will get. And yeah, this push does get cleaned up. There's another bit of pressure on the left side. The 2 Banshees get rid of 2 drones. But the Mutalisks, they get rid of 2 medevacs. And maybe 2 more medevacs. No. Oh well. Well, actually, Banshees, round number 2. 7 workers there. I mean, it's nowhere near what you wanted. Especially considering the push that he did. He's going out again? He's going out again, and what a madman. What an absolute mad lad. He's just like, what? How many do we have here? What is this? What kind of army is this? There's 5 Marines and 2 siege tanks. He's coming in, and he's killing Ragnarok. He is just gonna do it this way. More Marines. Okay, now there's a good clump of Marines. Oh, can he target down the Mutalisk? He's not really single targeting the Mutalisk. That's a problem. Maybe been able to take out 2 or 3 of them there. If he had. Target firing the medevacs right now as well. Taking out another one as he moves along. I'm starting to like this position more and more so for Ragnarok here. I got a bit worried. I'm usually worried when I see somebody going for like big pushes across the map, and then we have the Zerg going for the Lingbane Mutalisk for a straight up fight. To me, it always feels like, well, that's some difficult army to make work in a straight up fight. You're not going to trade efficiently. Even if it looks efficient, usually it's not like super efficient. That's why people rely on that counterattack style more so, well, often with the Lingbane Mutalisk. Oh. Mutalisk once again. It's a big surround of Marines absolutely everywhere. Like 3 Mutalisks go down. Getting a little bit ahead of himself. Perhaps anticipating seeing some Marines, just a slight edge of Marines over here. Anticipating that they would be able to just go on the left side. Since the Marines are on his right. And then they were just on his left, on his right, and below him. All at the same time. Fighting off whatever he can right now with these Mutalisks. I mean, Cure's still on the 3 bases. Yes, we do have a 5 base right now for Ragnarok. The 4th base for Cure, though, of course, is close by. Won't be waiting here for very much longer. This is the real ordeal here. The army of Cure. If Ragnarok is able to just keep trading out okay against this army, that's fantastic. But with the higher the supply goes, I'm kind of more leaning towards this going into the Terran's way. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll get a good Bane connection. Maybe the splits will not be as amazing as they could be. Alright. All the side angles are being secured, kind of tested. Testing the waters here, seeing what is where. So Ragnarok can make an informed decision as to how to set up his units. It looks like he's going to go for the good old Trident poke. 3 areas here. Straight from the center. A little bit surprised with those banelings right now. And the Mutalisk as well, actually. They do get the first siege tank, but lose a lot of their friends as well in the process. Ragnarok here on the left flank, figuring out that there is in fact a minefield there. So that is a good thing to know. If you don't know, if you're setting up a 3-pronged surround and you're just unaware that one of those flanks has a minefield in between, oof. Alright, here we go. Big attack from Cure. Ragnarok is across the map here, trying to do something similar. That's a lot of SCVs going down, and that's the stuff I like to see from the Zerg army here. He's trying to get an engagement going, but look at those Widow Mines. Okay, that is not how you make banelings be efficient. He's going to try again. How is it going to go? There's some really good connections there. But it is... Ooh, just... Yeah, okay, no, actually, that's really good. That is really good. The base lives, the drones live. The SCVs on the other side, they got in a lot of trouble. Now Zerglings surrounding this army here from Cure. Mutalisk on top of absolutely everything. Will bust on through that door. Those supply depots won't hold back the Zerg enclave for very much longer. Cure on the ropes, trying to figure out the best way to remedy this situation. But with the Zerglings on top of his production, there's nothing you can do. Ragnarok takes game number 5. Alright. There's the scout. Everything is going according towards the rules of TVC so far. I'm just being the referee right now and making sure that neither of these players are doing anything out of the ordinary. Not really the case. Oh, that 3rd base drone is not gonna make it over to the 3rd base. That is a nasty bit of thing here. Very frustrating for Ragnarok to have to deal with. He's gonna have to try and find a way to send another drone at some point in time. Even losing a drone now. And this drone right here, remember, that is still quite a bit low on AHP. He's just gonna... Okay, the Spore Crawler does get cancelled in time. I thought I was just gonna be a Spore Crawler from now on. Reaper. Still being an absolute tormenting force here in this area. The 3rd base quite badly delayed by all of this, of course. As he just wants to get that 3rd base going. Being forced to pull all of the levers, push all of the buttons, till absolutely everything Cure could do to delay this 3rd base had been done without losing the Reaper. Benchy play once more coming in here for Cure. Looks like that is, you know, working out for him so far pretty well. Did win 3 games with it and only lost a single one. Then again, he did lose that single one the most recently. So maybe Ragnarok kind of figuring out the playstyle of Cure here. and really getting into the rhythm, because that is one of the main things as Zerg. If you kind of know the rhythm of your opponent, you know when he's going to attack, you know kind of the possibilities, it becomes a lot easier for you to squeeze out as many drones as you would like before just barely making enough defenses to hold off the enemy attack. And clearly, as a Zerg player, just much more comfortable during the rest of the game. Because, well, your economy is absolutely booming. As booming as it can get. So yeah, sometimes that does help out Zerg players here a little bit. Now, of course, a Terran player could make that go into their favor as well by kind of presenting one type of rhythm of play and then suddenly switching it up very quickly, right? So coming in a lot earlier with like proxy Rex or something like that. Man, I need a bit of water here. Ah, Reaper is Rambo. I don't. Maybe. Something stuck in my throat. Hellions coming in between the second and the third base. Looking for whatever you can set on fire. Man, this is getting annoying, isn't it? Cough, 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 cough. Alright, Banshees may have met their maker. Apparently those were a bunch of queens. The Hellions there trying to just maintain a certain maximized level of creep that he allows for the Zerg here. Trying to pass creep legislation and enforce that with the Hellions and the Banshees, of course. Oh, that's a good catch right here. The Zerglings finding all of these Hellions. And the Reaper too, so all of them going down. It's really unfortunate my mute key isn't working right now. Alright, well. 24 more Zerglings coming in. +1/+1 also for CURE, as CURE has delved into a third base. Let's see, that's a lot of barracks he's going for here as well. Just more and more Marines. I was kind of anticipating a switch up into the Widow Mines, but so far not really occurring here for CURE. Just sticking to more Marines. More Marines, although there's an armory on the way, so maybe that is a sign of what's to come here. Marines find the fourth base. Ragnarok was already trying to make another one on the opposite side, though, to be fair, so it's not the biggest of deals. Still a bit frustrating here, of course, but very smart play trying to make a fifth and a fourth at the same time. Always like that type of stuff. Try and minimize the momentum loss if something does go wrong. And off he goes. Back to the beautiful lands of Terran. Just 2 meters off to the right side there. Oh, Mutalisk finding their way into the Terran mineral line. But it seems there's more Marines and SCVs ready to meet them. For the time being. Although, you know what? In the main base, not that many right now. CURE having to spread them out. And the Mutalisk starting to do something here. And, there's quite a bit of a loss. Ooh. Don't know what happened there. We caught the tail end of quite a couple of Marines suddenly being surrounded on top of the creep right there. A quick and nimble move out from Ragnarok. Kind of securing a bit of the kills right there. But too much for CURE still available. So Ragnarok not able to just kind of push into there immediately afterwards. This map has a very short, like, distance. How do you call this? Horizontally, huh? Vertically, it feels very Jagannatha-esque. And I feel like that might come into Cure his favor here. This is a very fun map, actually. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Oh. This might be the point where Cure is going to take it, guys. I don't know. There's a lot of army supply knocking on Ragnarok's door. Marines, siege tanks, medevacs aplenty. Alright, in they come. The forces of Ragnarok. Zerglings coming in from a couple of angles. The Banelings trying to get on top of those Marines as the Marines are just micro backwards. It looks like the Marines, they will be able to avoid the Baneling firepower, but there is enough here for the Zerg. I believe. No, scratch that. Never mind. Reinforcements for Cure coming in. And that is enough. In the top left side, we have a Alpha X Zerg. He's colored blue. He is Ragnarok. His opponents spawning in the top middle position. We have a red Terran player fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Cure. Well, no, okay. Oh, whew. That was close. That was heart palpitation close. That was like, no, don't do this to Ragnarok. Come on, guys. What's the response here? There's quite a couple of drones coming in. 5 drones in total. I'm gonna try to get rid of some SCVs or maybe Marines. At least keep them at a base distance, right? I mean, this is really good because now these SCVs, they can't be making bunkers at this moment in time. We're gonna get some creep. Might even start a spine crawler here. Let's see. Okay, there's the other drones. He realized now that it is a 2-rack, so pulling the drones is not the worst thing you can do. It's alright. Trying to get everything together. Now has Marines versus the Zerglings. Needs to make sure that he does, of course, still keep making those minerals come into play as well. Does need those. Not sure if he wants those bunkers to finish up here. He's trying to make his own spine crawler fortress as well. That first bunker, that is still far away enough that I'm not too worried about it. The second one, there's no way in hell that you can let that finish up. There's no way. The first one here, that's okay. That's alright. It's annoying. It's gonna be, you know, making this attack a lot more difficult to clean up, but at least it's not gonna kill you. At least it's not gonna kill you. Unless if it does, of course. You know, I look like an idiot. But no, okay, there we go. Yeah, that should be enough here. Nice target fire on that spine crawler. Has to be careful. That spine crawler, of course, its animation of attack, it can be interrupted by the Marines here. Marines trying to get themselves back to safety. The bunker goes down and the Zerglings will be able to clean the rest of this up. Great start here for Ragnarok. So yeah, as I was saying, you gotta be careful with the spine crawler. The animation can get cancelled, and so does the attack then if the Marines run back into the bunker at the right time, as the spine crawler is kind of mid-poke. Oh, that is so annoying, right? You click here for them to go here, and then they're just like, yeah, but we want to pass this way. Ah, Zerglings! Okay, so Cure. I've seen him do this once before. He goes with the proxy 2 racks. No, wait, I think I've seen him do this with the proxy 3 racks. It's not as committed as he did back then, but basically, all his Marines died. The Zerg was like, okay, nice, now I've won. and then he just started making Reapers. Just barely outside of vision range of the Zerg, and suddenly enough Reapers showed up to win the game, so it's probably not gonna happen here, as the first 2 Reapers already dead. And we have so many Queens available to Ragnarok. It doesn't seem like a viable way to be killed right now. Couple of Hellions that might be able to make this a bit more difficult for Ragnarok overall. There we go. Let's see how those first volleys go. That's only a single drone. That's not enough. Okay, 3. That's good. That's 5. That's okay. It's alright. It's not bad, but I feel like Ragnarok had a pretty darn good start, giving him an 8 worker lead here already. That's interesting. It's supposed to be the hotkey for the... Interesting. What's happening with my keyboard today? Oh, I don't know. Does this one work? Oh, this one doesn't work either. Crazy. Alright, well, medevac. Is it this one? No. Why is it... What? What is the hotkey to make the income tab appear? The camera rotation hotkey. Why? Why? Oh. Well, we're just gonna assume that it's because I did something wrong. And figured it out along the way. Anyway, 2 engineering base here coming up. Spire coming in for Mr. Ragnarok. Single Zergling figuring out that there is in fact a 3rd base coming in. As the 3 Hellions try one more time to put that flag in the ground in Zerg territory. Looks like the Hellions are not going to get out of there though. Will be met with a stampeding horde of Zerglings. Horrible occurrence. Oh. Couple more Hellions here getting caught out. Cure. I mean, he's throwing away some units right now. It was looking alright with the first couple of games, but I mean, right now, it almost seems like he's lost a little bit of interest. Just not as clean, not as crisp. Those Hellions just kind of getting surrounded all of a sudden. Where they probably didn't have to. Oh, that would have been nice. Isn't gonna get it, of course. Marine attack on that 4th base for Ragnarok. That has to be cancelled. Scan coming in, more Marines here, seeing those Mutalisks. Mutalisks figure out that this is coming and actually try to have a bit of a fight here. There are more of them coming in. This is the one way I see how Ragnarok really loses this quite heavily, is just only making Mutalisk from this point onwards. While his opponent is going Widowmine Marine. He doesn't have an armory yet, so cleaning up Widowmine's still, you know, relatively easy to do. Still manageable. Mutalisk attacking the 3rd base. They never should be able to take it out, but, I mean, Cure is going across the map instead. Will not be taking the fight with the Mutalisk back at home. In he comes. Marines. Ooh, some almost terrifying connections there from the Banelings. Cure just barely survives. The tiniest bit of HP pools left on those Marines right there. And they do manage to get healed up once again by those medevacs, giving them a second chance at life. Another opportunity here to shoot down Zerg units. The Zerg Rebellion. The Zerg Infiltration. Occupying Force. I don't know what they are, really. On this planet in particular. Oh. Alright, this could be nice. Oh, he sees him. He sees him. Oh. Okay, seven CVs. That's alright. That's okay. You know, it's not as bad as it could be. We might see a bit of a Mutalisk flock over here. 2 Widowmines laying in wait. Mutalisk do manage to avoid that area over there for the time being, as the Marines push on the left side. Maybe kind of hoping to push the Mutalisk from here to here. Big fights on the left flank. Banelings already on the forefront of those Marines. A couple of Widowmines dug into the ground. We'll be able to force those Banelings backwards. As the entirety of Ragnarok's army here is starting to swell up and group up together. Circlings here, attempting a run by, but finding a enormous amount of Marines still ready to defend the natural and the third base. Whatever may be necessary at that point in time. So Ragnarok still trying to find opportunities here with his Mutalisk. As soon as that 4th base is up, I would say the opportunities are going to rise a lot more often, a lot more frequent. If the opportunities are gonna, you know, be jumped onto by Ragnarok, that's another question. Gets himself the drilling class upgrade here, and a couple of those SCVs as well. Not bad. May still have another group of units. That is just Zerglings. I thought for a moment that might be Banelings. May have worked out alright, but Cure apparently with maybe just the edge of that sensor tower, or just good game knowledge, right? Star sense. Kind of figuring out that that is something he has to be wary of. Alright, 200 supply here for Ragnarok. Hoping that we will see a little bit of attempted aggression here before Cure manages to get himself to that max supply as well. I mean, army supply is already similar here. 110 versus 109. Upgrades are similar. We're getting the upgrades to Cure quicker on the way, but in come those Banelings. That planetary fortress won't stay up for very long. Wonderfully done. Back to 3 bases you go, Cure. That is a problem. That is definitely a problem. That is not something you would like to see happen here for Cure. To be fair, Cure, his army is still standing. He still has the opportunity to get like 30 more army supply above on top of what Ragnarok has, of course, so that could be a major advantage here. But he needs to not lose army units, and he needs to actually acquire that big, beefy ball of Terran. Otherwise, it will all be for naught, and he's just going to trade out less efficiently. Well, maybe not less efficiently, but just with a lot less of a bank behind to replenish. Alright, so yeah, both these players kind of now playing it passively, because Ragnarok, he realizes if he spends too much of his money and too much of his wealth just storming or trying to storm the front door and not breaking it, that could be a good way for him to lose. And Cure knows that if he tries to now go across the map here and just gets his army squashed before it's up to full supply and full strength, it's a great way for him to lose the game. So a very awkward type of scenario. The situation's getting more and more tense. Widowmine's getting some good connections here, but Banelings will not ever be able to get on top of those SCVs here. At least those Banelings for this time period. Never, never. But in this one situation, they never ever could. It's a weird thing to say that, anyway. Widow Mines, 2 of them. Drilling claws once again here. Look at that. Deja vu. Oh, that's a lot of Widow Mine firepower as well coming in. That is, oh my dear, 16 Mutalisks so far. Zerglings and Banelings on the left side may be able to get them all right around. The Banelings very far behind still. I think Ragnarok may be anticipating them to be a little bit closer. Seeing the fight, he took that. But what is this? Another swell of Zerglings and Banelings. Where is he getting the supply from to make this work? 8 Corruptors now on the field coming out together with the Ultralisk. And that's the next step in the plan here for our blue Zerg. Couple of those Banelings making the connections onto the Marauders. This is a scary thing. Those Marauders, they tank a lot of the Baneling firepower, and you do not want that to happen here. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. There's Banelings trying to break down Marauders and Thors. Really, really not efficient at all whatsoever. Couple of Changelings to try and blockade the retreating path. Please don't do that with Banelings. Please don't do that with Banelings. Okay, well, half of it was with Banelings, unfortunately. But yeah, you can see, look at the efficiency that Cure is now starting to build up here. It is rather ridiculous. Now, to be fair, Ragnarok is starting to incorporate Ultralisk. Might be able to set up shop with a couple of Brute Lords later on. That might up that efficiency by an enormous amount, but for the time being, it has me a bit worried. Does he still have enough to break his opponent? At least that planetary fortress is no problem whatsoever. The Marines trying to back up, but it seems like there is indeed not enough Terran right here available. There is, actually, those are Changelings. Where is the army of Cure? Still has 64 army supply. Is it actually just all in production? It very well may be. GG is called. Ragnarok brings it back. We'll be able to set up the series here with a 3-4. Losing the overall series, but still managing to make it as close as it could be.